Carrots and Sumantra, contrasting external, carrot and sticks, and intrinsic motivation models. Part 1. Foundations of motivation. Chapter 1. Motivation. Carrots, sticks, and the Sumantra shift. Why do people do what they do? It's a simple question, but ask any leader, manager, or even a parent, and the answers reveal a complex landscape of hopes, fears, ambitions, and frustrations. When it comes to motivation, two schools of thought dominate the conversation: the classic carrot and stick approach, rooted in external motivators, and the more modern Sumantra principle, which pivots toward fostering intrinsic motivation. Let's start with a story. Imagine you're in charge of a team at a tech startup tasked with launching an innovative product. The pressure is high, the competition fierce, and time is limited. To get your team moving faster, you roll out a performance-based bonus structure, promising significant rewards for achieving certain benchmarks. Within days, you notice a productivity boost, tasks get done faster, meetings feel more purposeful, and there's a sense of urgency. But as the project nears its end, something curious happens. Some team members start cutting corners, aiming for the rewards but not the quality you envisioned. Others grow frustrated with the relentless push, feeling that the rewards don't justify the sacrifices they're making. In the end, while the team meets their goals, they walk away feeling burnt out, and a few even quietly start exploring other job options. This story is far from unique. The carrots and sticks method, popularized decades ago, has long been a go-to strategy for driving productivity. But as we'll explore, it's not without pitfalls. In contrast, the Sumantra principle offers an alternative, promoting motivation through purpose, autonomy, and connection rather than rewards or punishments. Carrots and sticks. The classic motivational model, the carrot and stick approach, has deep roots. It's straightforward, easy to understand, and effective, at least, up to a point. The principle is simple. Offer rewards to encourage good behavior and punishments to discourage the undesirable. Bonuses, promotions, accolades, and even verbal praise form the carrot side, while reprimands, demotions, and unmet expectations act as the stick. In practice, this model works well for tasks that are clear-cut and require short bursts of effort. For instance, consider the case of Amazon warehouses. Workers are often incentivized with performance bonuses for reaching certain productivity benchmarks. These rewards, combined with the potential risk of penalties for underperformance, keep the pace high. This carrot and stick framework pushes employees to reach targets quickly and consistently, a valuable outcome for a company whose bottom line hinges on operational speed. However, as insightful as this approach can be, it often falters in environments where creativity, sustained motivation, or long-term engagement is crucial. Studies from behavioral economics show that external rewards can actually dampen creativity by shifting focus to the incentive rather than the task itself. Psychologist Edward Deci, for example, conducted research showing that when people perform tasks for rewards, they often lose interest in the work itself. This phenomenon, known as the over-justification effect, reveals a paradox. Sometimes, the promise of a reward undermines intrinsic motivation, leaving people less engaged and more likely to abandon the task once the reward is removed. The Sumantra principle. Motivation from within. Named after Sumantra Ghoshal, a pioneering thinker in management, the Sumantra principle flips the carrot and stick approach on its head. Ghoshal argued that the most effective motivation stems from an environment where individuals feel intrinsically inspired, not controlled or coerced. He believed that true motivation comes from within, from a sense of purpose, autonomy, and belonging. Take Google's 20% project, where employees were encouraged to spend 20% of their time on projects of their choice. This approach wasn't about rewards or penalties, it was about giving employees the freedom to explore ideas that they felt passionate about. The result? Innovations like Gmail and Google News, projects that likely wouldn't have emerged from a rigid carrot and stick structure. By creating a space for autonomy, Google tapped into its employees' intrinsic motivation with groundbreaking results. The Sumantra principle underscores three main components: autonomy, purpose, and positive reinforcement. Rather than relying on external incentives, this approach builds a motivating environment that naturally inspires individuals to perform at their best. In essence, it's a commitment to nurturing the human spirit within organizations, where employees don't just work for a paycheck but feel part of something meaningful. Carrots versus Sumantra. Choosing the right model. Both models offer valuable insights, but they're not universally applicable. Carrots and sticks can be highly effective for tasks that are routine, predictable, and require rapid results. However, in fields that rely on innovation, problem-solving, and long-term commitment, the Sumantra principle holds unique advantages. Reflecting on our startup example, imagine how things might have changed if, instead of offering bonuses, the leader fostered a culture of creativity and ownership. By involving the team in goal setting and connecting their work to the company's vision, they could have instilled a sense of purpose. This might have led to a more sustainable pace, higher quality work, and a team that felt invested in the product's success for reasons beyond a bonus check. Applying motivation strategies. Practical takeaways. 1. Understand the task type. Before choosing a motivation model, consider the nature of the task. Routine, high-speed jobs may benefit from external motivators. But creative, exploratory tasks thrive under the Sumantra principle. 2. Involve the team in goal setting. When people have a say in their objectives, they're more likely to feel invested. Set goals together, and let your team connect their personal goals to the organization's purpose. 3. Foster autonomy. Give team members ownership over their tasks. Allow them the freedom to choose how they approach their work, and trust them to take responsibility. 4. Build a positive environment. Motivation thrives in a supportive, encouraging atmosphere. Praise efforts, recognize achievements, and create a culture where everyone feels valued and connected to a shared mission. 5. Balance extrinsic and intrinsic rewards. Use carrots and sticks sparingly, especially in creative roles. Instead, foster intrinsic motivation through purpose, mastery, and community, and save rewards for exceptional achievements rather than everyday motivation. Conclusion. A vision for balanced motivation. Ultimately, the key to motivation lies in balance. External rewards and punishments have their place, but true, lasting motivation comes from within. The Sumantra principle reminds us that people are more than just tools to reach an end. They're creative, complex, and capable of achieving remarkable things when their environment supports their best selves. Whether leading a team, mentoring a colleague, or working toward personal goals, remember, sometimes it's not about the carrots or the sticks, but about nurturing the spark that already exists within. Chapter 2. Carrots and sticks defined what drives people to achieve their best. The question has fascinated leaders and psychologists for centuries, leading to various models of motivation. One of the oldest and simplest approaches, the carrot and stick model, remains a go-to strategy for many leaders today. Let's break down this concept with a real-world example. Imagine a bustling call center, where managers are constantly trying to boost performance and meet demanding metrics. To encourage higher sales, management rolls out a new system of incentives and consequences. Employees who meet monthly targets receive a cash bonus, while those who fall short risk losing perks, such as flexible work hours. At first, results seem promising. Employees hit their targets more frequently, and the general energy around the office feels competitive and charged. But soon, cracks begin to show. Some employees, under the pressure of consequences, start adopting shortcuts that compromise the quality of customer service. Others, worn down by the relentless pursuit of rewards, experience burnout, which impacts their productivity. This example highlights the potential effectiveness and limitations of the carrot and stick approach. While it can be useful for achieving short-term goals, it often falls short when trying to inspire long-lasting engagement and creativity. What is the carrot and stick model? The carrot and stick metaphor comes from the image of using a carrot as a reward, or a stick as punishment, to motivate a mule. When applied to people, this model is based on the assumption that behavior can be directed by offering rewards for desirable actions, the carrot, and consequences for undesirable actions, the stick. In business, carrots typically take the form of bonuses, a classic incentive that ties performance to financial rewards. Promotions, offering higher positions to those who meet or exceed goals. Public recognition, celebrating accomplishments to boost morale and encourage others to follow suit. On the flip side, sticks might include penalties, such as reduced hours, pay cuts, or the loss of certain privileges. Negative feedback. Immediate corrective feedback to discourage poor performance. Demotions or dismissals. In extreme cases, failing to meet standards might lead to serious career consequences. This model is straightforward and often effective, especially for tasks that require consistency and efficiency. But is it enough? When carrots and sticks work, and when they don't, the carrot and stick approach can be powerful in situations where tasks are clear, repetitive, and don't demand creativity. For example, in fast food chains, employees are often encouraged through performance bonuses tied to speed and efficiency. The rewards motivate employees to work quickly, which aligns perfectly with the goals of a business that relies on high turnover rates and standardized processes. However, things become more complicated in environments that require innovation, problem-solving, or sustained motivation. According to behavioral economist Dan Ariely, extrinsic rewards can sometimes have a counterproductive effect on motivation. His studies demonstrate that when individuals work primarily for rewards, they may lose interest in the work itself. This is known as the over-justification effect, the idea that external rewards can diminish intrinsic interest in an activity. Consider Microsoft in the early 2000s. Microsoft heavily relied on stack ranking, a system where employees were ranked against one another. Top performers received substantial rewards, while lower performers faced the threat of losing their positions. Initially, this system pushed employees to perform. However, it eventually created a competitive, even toxic, environment that discouraged collaboration. Talented employees left the company for more supportive cultures, and Microsoft found itself struggling to innovate. The psychology behind carrots and sticks. Why does the carrot and stick approach sometimes fail? One answer lies in the psychological concept of self-determination theory. Developed by psychologists Edward Deci and Richard Ryan, this theory suggests that people are most motivated when they experience three key elements. 1. Autonomy, the feeling of being in control of one's actions. 2. Competence, the sense of being capable and effective. 3. Relatedness, the desire to feel connected and valued by others. When rewards or punishments become the primary drivers of behavior, they can interfere with autonomy, competence, and relatedness. Employees may feel like they're being controlled, which can diminish their sense of purpose and connection to their work. This, in turn, leads to disengagement, low morale, and even unethical behavior, as people prioritize rewards over quality or values. Applying carrots and sticks in a balanced way. So, should we abandon the carrot and stick model entirely? Not necessarily. When applied thoughtfully, external motivators can still be effective. Here are some strategies for using carrots and sticks without diminishing intrinsic motivation. 1. Make rewards meaningful. Instead of generic bonuses, offer rewards that align with personal growth or development. For example, consider offering training or conference opportunities as rewards, which promote skill building rather than solely focusing on performance metrics. 2. Limit punishments to behavior, not people. If corrective action is needed, focus on the behavior rather than making it personal. Clear communication about what went wrong and how to improve can help maintain morale and trust. 3. Incorporate feedback loops. Create opportunities for employees to reflect on their goals and share feedback. This can help them feel more involved and valued, even if certain metrics still need to be met. 4. Set goals collaboratively. When employees have a hand in setting their own targets, they're more likely to feel motivated to achieve them. Try using a goal-setting framework like SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound goals to create clarity and buy-in. 5. Recognize effort, not just outcomes. While rewards are often tied to results, recognition for effort can reinforce a positive work culture. Acknowledge hard work and dedication, even when the final results fall short. Reflecting on motivation. What drives you? Consider your own experiences with motivation. Are you more driven by external rewards, like financial bonuses, or by internal satisfaction, such as the joy of overcoming a challenge? Ask yourself, what motivates my team the most, external rewards or a sense of purpose? When do I feel most engaged in my work? Is it due to the rewards, or because I find meaning in what I do? How can I use the principles of carrots and sticks without compromising the intrinsic motivation of my team? Conclusion. Finding balance. The carrot and stick model is a classic tool in the leader's toolkit, and with good reason. For tasks requiring efficiency, clarity, or speed, it can be a reliable motivator. But in today's dynamic workplace, where innovation, collaboration, and creativity are essential, leaders need to rethink their approach to motivation. The Sumantra principle, as we'll explore, offers a way to create environments that foster motivation from within, helping individuals find purpose and connection in their work. Balancing these approaches allows us to motivate others effectively while respecting their inherent drive to grow and contribute meaningfully. As you continue this journey, remember, sometimes a carrot isn't about dangling rewards, it's about cultivating purpose. Chapter 3. Origins of Carrot and Stick Theory. Why did we begin to believe that rewards and punishments drive people to act? To understand the origins of the carrot and stick approach, we need to delve into the roots of motivation theory itself. This journey takes us through the fields of philosophy, psychology, and early management studies, as well as some telling real-world applications. Let's start with a classic example. In the late 19th century, a company named Ford Motor Company began offering production line workers bonuses for completing tasks within strict time limits. Workers were expected to meet precise goals, and those who failed often faced cuts to their hours or risked being let go. Ford's approach proved effective in increasing productivity and cutting down production time, but it came at a cost. Many employees found the environment stressful and dehumanizing, leading to high turnover. Ford's carrot and stick model, while productive, sacrificed worker satisfaction for efficiency, revealing the limitations of purely external motivation. The historical roots. From ancient philosophy to industrial application, the idea that people act based on rewards or punishments is an ancient one, dating back to philosophers such as Plato and Aristotle, who explored how human behavior could be shaped by pleasure and pain. Aristotle believed that people are motivated by the desire to achieve happiness, the good, and avoid suffering, a concept that laid the groundwork for later theories on human motivation. The formalization of external motivation as a theory took shape during the Industrial Revolution. With the rise of factory work, employers sought ways to maximize productivity. Traditional farming communities, where people worked at their own pace, were being replaced by rigid, hierarchical structures that demanded speed, efficiency, and uniformity. To control these new industrial environments, managers began employing external motivators to drive performance. In 1911, Frederick Winslow Taylor published his groundbreaking book, The Principles of Scientific Management, which crystallized the carrot and stick model in modern management. Taylor believed that by analyzing and controlling every element of the workplace, he could improve productivity. His method, known as Taylorism, emphasized rewards for workers who met specific benchmarks and consequences for those who didn't. Taylor's influence extended far and wide, embedding the carrot and stick approach into management practices that are still in use today. Behavioral psychology. Reinforcement and conditioning. In the 20th century, behavioral psychology began to provide scientific support for the carrot and stick model. Psychologists like B.F. Skinner developed theories around reinforcement, which suggested that behavior could be shaped through rewards and punishments. Skinner's experiments with animals, using positive reinforcement, rewards, and negative reinforcement, removal of unpleasant stimuli, demonstrated how consistent external motivators could alter behavior. While his work was primarily with animals, many of his findings were applied to humans, suggesting that similar principles could be used to manage people in work environments. Skinner's ideas fueled the adoption of performance-based incentives in the workplace. Companies started to implement reward systems, believing that bonuses, promotions, and other carrots would effectively drive desired behaviors, while disciplinary measures would curb poor performance. For simple, repetitive tasks, this approach often worked. However, as with Ford's assembly lines, this model could sometimes backfire when applied to more complex or creative work. Case study. IBM's early sales incentive program. In the 1960s, IBM implemented one of the first major sales incentive programs, which became an industry model. Sales teams received substantial bonuses for meeting or exceeding their targets, and they worked in a highly competitive, high-stakes environment. The program was initially a huge success. Sales rose, and IBM became a leader in the emerging tech world. However, over time, IBM discovered that its incentive structure led to unintended consequences. Salespeople began focusing on short-term wins to hit targets and earn bonuses, rather than building long-term relationships with clients. This focus on immediate rewards caused IBM to lose clients as customers started feeling like they were only valued as quick transactions. This case illustrated a critical lesson. While the carrot-and-stick approach can drive short-term success, it often sacrifices long-term loyalty and quality. The psychology of carrots and sticks. Understanding why they work and don't work. Why did models like Taylorism and Skinner's reinforcement theory catch on so quickly? The carrot-and-stick model is appealing because it simplifies motivation to something tangible and controllable: rewards or punishments. People understand these principles easily, which makes the model feel effective and reliable. However, psychological studies have since shown that humans are motivated by far more than just rewards and punishments. In fact, over-reliance on extrinsic motivators can undermine intrinsic motivation. This concept, known as the over-justification effect, was first studied by Edward Deci in the 1970s. Deci's research found that people who received rewards for tasks they previously enjoyed often lost interest once the reward was removed. This suggested that external rewards could actually decrease motivation in the long run, especially for creative or complex tasks that require deep engagement. Practical takeaways: when to use carrots and sticks, and when to avoid them. So, where does the carrot and stick model fit in today's world? Here are some guidelines for when to use this approach and when to consider alternatives. 1. Use carrots and sticks for routine, short-term tasks. If you're managing a team with repetitive, straightforward tasks, like data entry or production line work, external motivators can be effective. The clear, tangible goals align well with simple rewards. 2. Avoid over-reliance in creative or complex work. When tasks require innovation, problem-solving, or teamwork, avoid focusing solely on external rewards. Incentives may stifle creativity and push people to think short-term, compromising quality and passion for the work. 3. Mix in autonomy and purpose. Even in environments where external motivators are used, try to balance them with opportunities for autonomy and purpose. Letting employees take ownership of their roles can help mitigate the burnout and disengagement often associated with carrot and stick models. 4. Ensure fairness and transparency. One of the pitfalls of the carrot and stick approach is the potential for resentment if rewards or punishments feel arbitrary. Clearly communicate goals, expectations, and reward structures to build trust. 5. Monitor for unintended consequences. When implementing external motivators, watch for unintended side effects. Are people prioritizing speed over quality? Are they focusing on individual rewards instead of team success? Adjust as needed to prevent counterproductive behaviors. Reflection. Do you rely on carrots and sticks? Consider your own work environment and motivational strategies. How often do you rely on rewards and punishments? Ask yourself, are my team's goals primarily driven by external rewards or by intrinsic values? When was the last time I saw someone take a genuine interest in their work, without the promise of a reward? Is there room to blend intrinsic motivators, like purpose and growth, with the external incentives I use? Conclusion. Moving beyond the carrot and stick model, as we've seen, the carrot and stick model has deep roots in management history and psychology. It's a tried and true approach for certain tasks and environments, and it still holds value today. However, our understanding of motivation has evolved. The Sumantra principle, as we'll explore in later chapters, offers a more holistic approach by fostering an environment where people are inspired to achieve their best through internal motivation. The challenge for today's leaders is to recognize when to use external motivators and when to inspire from within. By understanding the origins and limitations of the carrot and stick model, we can build workplaces that go beyond rewards and punishments, nurturing teams that are driven by purpose, growth, and a sense of belonging.